So Dark Angels got some point changes. Ravenwing rejoice. But what about the Lion? Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As always, my name is Jay. And in this video I want to talk about the point changes that just happened kind of quietly a couple days ago for the Dark Angels. As you all know, Dark Angels, their codex is officially released tomorrow, the codex supplement. Now obviously it's been out for a bit of time due to the Dark Angels Deathwing Assault box set. And many people like myself did YouTube reviews on the Dark Angels, and most of us were not the most impressed overall, to say the least, with the supplement. But many of you did point out this, and I did try to, in my head, remind myself that, you know, GW does try to balance things, which is good. Maybe this will be a start low and higher army, buy low, sell high, maybe, versus other armies which tend to come out stronger and then get nerfed. This might be one that starts out really weak and gets progressively stronger, right? Maybe GW will slowly make the points better and better and better, and maybe the Lion will be usable by the end of this edition. We'll see. Hint about Lion. So there were a bunch of point changes, and the Codex supplement comes out tomorrow. So once again, we're continuing the tradition of before the book even comes out, it is useless for points, which is okay in this case because the points are better than they were in the book. So I'm okay with that. Let's talk about it. As I said, there's a bunch of point changes. Most of them are good. Most of the point changes are actually quite good. Some of the point changes really don't make much sense to me, and some of them are just not enough in my opinion, but they're going in the right direction, right? Overall, the Codex got better. The supplement got better than it was before, which is good. It's what we can ask for. It's not worse than it was before, it's better. Is it as good as it could be? No. But maybe it'll get better in the future. Maybe more point tweaks will just happen over time. So let's get started. First, Asmodai. Asmodai went up by 5 points. From 65 to 70 points. What do I think about that one? Frankly, I don't really care about the point increases in this case. It's only 5 points. It seems a little odd, in my opinion, that it's like a tweaking, a fine-tuning. And I find it really weird that GW is already making fine-tuned tweaks to points so early. The book hasn't even come out yet. The book comes out tomorrow, right? Usually, like, this is when you make some big changes and then fine-tune it a little bit later, like drop it or increase it by 10 points or 15 points and then realize you've overshot and then go back a little bit. This seems like it's a fine-tuned mini tweak, so I guess they thought it was almost perfect. 70 points, okay, cool. Asmodai is not the be-all, end-all of this codex, though model-wise, I love the model. I do have to say that I love the model. Seems a lot, but it's just a tweak. No overall opinion. I just think it was kind of weird that they increased to 5 points. Such a tweak. Now, up next, we have the Deathwing Knights. Now, Deathwing Knights as a unit are probably the most affected by these point changes. The Deathwing Knights got nerfed into the frickin' ground with this supplement. And so at least now they're moving towards back to good. So the big changes, of course, were they got weaker. Their weapons got weaker. And they got nerfed in the sense they usually be able to take a squad of 10, making them a really good Death Star unit. Now they're limited to 5. And they went up in points insanely. That part has been primarily fixed a little bit, right? Which is good. They can still only take a squad of 5. But there's a 55-point drop, which is huge, right? Went down from 290 to 235. Huge. 290, they made no sense. It was way too expensive of a unit. 235 is a much more reasonable point for that squad, and I think maybe there's another fine-tuning coming. I'd like to see them around 225 myself, 220, because now they can't take a squad of 5. They can only take a squad of 5, so they're much less survivable, I found. I've tried them in a couple games, and just they don't have that same hit. But that's okay. But as I said, I'm happy with that. It's a huge point drop overall. Can't really complain. Is it enough to make them uber competitive? No, but it definitely makes them better. So you can't, like I said, they're going in the right direction. They're going in the right direction. I'm going to remain positive. Also, the Deathwing Terminator squad went down 5 points, went from, or 15 points. Yeah, it went from 205 to 190. So again, cheaper. Awesome there. Went in the right direction. Right? They're still Terminators. They still survive. Cool. So, combination Deathwing Knights And Deathwing, more survivable. Cool, right? Going in the right direction here. Ezekiel went up 5 points from 70 to 75. Once again, I find it a little odd. Such a weird fine-tuned tweaking this early. And Ezekiel and Asmodai are not the foundation of most armies, right? They're not the most competitive models in the Codex, so a slight point increase will not have much of an effect because they're not going to be brought in most lists. Overall, doesn't change too much, right? It's a little odd for me, such a tweaking this early in the game. Land Speeder Vengeance, they went down as well, 10 points from 150 to 140. Once again, great, going in the right direction. Land Speed Vengeance, cool model, cool rules. Yeah. Lion, the Lionel Johnson. Now, the Lionel Johnson was one of those, again, like the Deathwing Knights and Lionel Johnson just got hit so hard with this supplement. And it's really unfortunate because Lionel Johnson's my favorite model that they've released in a long time that I've painted. I love painting it. I'm playing regardless of the rules, but they made him way too expensive initially, much less survivable because he no more -1 to wound. And he doesn't hit as hard in close combat. His sweep move got nerfed really badly from D2 to D1. So, and then on top of that, he was at a ridiculously high 365. Right? The more I thought about him after my review, the more annoyed I was. Because if you compare the big heavy hitters in the 300s, like Gilliman, right? It's 350. And the amount of buffs that Gilliman gives to the guys around him is huge, right? He's a heavy hitter, he's survivable, and he gives a lot of buffs. And Lion lost a lot of his roar at 365. It made no sense to be more expensive. And so they dropped him in points, a little bit, to 350. If you keep his rules the same, he needs to be just above 300 points. Even 300, to me, seems like a little, could be even argue high. But like 315 maybe at most, because he doesn't hit anywhere near as hard. Now, if you restored even his sweep attack to 2 damage, 350 becomes much more understandable. But right now, at 350 points, he's not going to see a lot of daylight in competitive games. Now, again, I'm going to play him in fun games because he's awesome. He's an awesome model. I love the rule. I love the look of him. I love the lore of him. Just the rules hurt my heart a little bit, because he is not going to survive as long. He's just a close combat monster, but again, he can be tar pitted very easily. A squad of Space Marines will take him turns and turns to kill, so he can be tar pitted extremely easily or dealt with now much easier, and at 350 points, he's still way too expensive, I find. So as far as these point changes, again, right direction, he went down in cost, because he went up in cost, that'd be ridiculous, but not enough. I still think GW needs to drop him 25, 50 points easy. Then he might start seeing it. But again, I've seen people even argue 300 is too expensive for his current rule set, maybe 280s, because he's a close combat beast that isn't as good in close combat, and he can be dealt with from a range much easier now. So I don't know, he's not as survivable as he once was. I still think the points are a little bit too expensive. But once again, right direction, just not enough yet. Maybe after a couple months, he'll continue to drop. That'd be awesome. The Jet Fighter went up 10 points. Cool. So 185 to 195. Small increase. Overall, it's just as competitive as it was before. Ravenwing. Ravenwing also saw the majority of the point drops. Ravenwing, I think, is really where this supplement is really now going to shine. I think there's going to be some silliness regarding Ravenwing for a while. Maybe they'll win a couple tournaments, and then I'm kind of worried that they're going to be brought up in cost. So if you're a Ravenwing player, this might be the time to have some fun. I think they got overdropped, and there's going to be some competitiveness there, and then they're going to go back up in cost. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. We'll hold me to it. A lot of the Ravenwing dropped in price. So first of all, the Ravenwing Black Knights went down 25 points in cost, so they're now 90 points for 3 as opposed to 115 before. That's huge. Ravenwing Knights are awesome. The Black Knights are just great. They hit hard, they can shoot, they're maneuverable. I really like them. Squad of 3, pretty cool stuff. I don't have them, but I really should get them in the future. Maybe after painting my Necron, or my next painting challenge with Necrons, or maybe I'll pick up some, but by that point they'll probably be up in cost again. I still just have a bunch of bikes and some Outriders. Yeah. Ravenwing Command Squad went down 55 points, went from 185 to 130. So they lost a third in their points. That's awesome. That's huge, right? So now you could take a squad of Ravenwing Black Knights with a Ravenwing Command Squad in there, right? With like 18, like, oh, that's so many bodies. That's nuts, right? Like, that's insane. And they, for a good amount of points, yeah, well, let me think about that one. That's pretty insane. But like a giant amount of squads of Ravenwing Black Knights follow with attached command squad. That'll hit hard like a ton of bricks. Very maneuverable, very survivable, very fast. I really do think, as I said, Ravenwing shine a lot more. The Deathwing got a couple buffs with the Deathwing Knights and the Deathwing Terminators, but Ravenwing, I think, are really where this area will shine. The Dark Talon went up 10 points from 200 to 210. The Dark Shroud went from 120 to 115. So slight tweaks there as well. Once again, I don't think those are really meta changers or game changers in the Codex. A lot of these points just seem slight tweaks. And Samuel went down 5 points from 135 to 130. Once again, it seems like it's a tweak, right? 5 points here, 5 points there. Just slight changes. The really big affected models are Deathwing Knights, Deathwing. To me, that's a good point for Deathwing. The Ravenwings, right? Command Squad, the Black Knights. Got huge drops, which is awesome. And then the HQs got all just 5-point tweaks. You know, Ezekiel went up by 5, Asmodai went up by 5, Samuel went up by 5. Lion went down 15, not enough for him. Yeah, so what are my thoughts? It's better than it was before. Awesome. I'm going to stay positive. It's better than it was before. It is for sure better than it was before, and that's good. We're going the right direction. What shines out of this supplement? Bikes for now. Knights got a little bit better, so still Deathwing will have more bite to them, and bikes are going to be fun. Right, the Ravenwing are going to be blasting around the table. I actually could see Ravenwing like surprisingly winning some matches and taking maybe a tournament or two, and then going to be nerfed. I think they're too cheap, which is cool. But I think that they're going to be hitting hard. There's going to be one really nasty, unibuild that will be very competitive, and then they'll be dealt with next round. That's my prediction. Lion needs to be dropped more or fix the rules. Right? Change the sweep back to damage 2. All right, then 350 points is much more justifiable. Or, yeah, even the -1 to wound, much more justifiable. Like, I don't get it. He still has a shield, but the shield doesn't do anything anymore. He's a close combat monster who just doesn't do as well in close combat. Yeah, Lion hurts my heart a little bit. So overall, I think the Ravenwing are looking good. Deathwing are looking better. Lionel Johnson needs to be improved. But overall, the supplement will end up starting tomorrow on a better foot than it would have if these points were not changed. So for that, I am thankful to GW. I just think they need to do a little bit more for some of the models that I mentioned. And keep making tweaks. Keep adjusting this and retroactively looking back and be willing to make adjustments, which is what they're doing. So that's cool. What do you think? What do you think about these point changes? Leave comments in the comment section down below. What do you think about the new supplement as it comes out tomorrow officially? It's been out already for a little while from the Deathwing Assault box set. Do you think these point changes are enough? What do you think about the Ravenwing, the Deathwing, Lion? Please leave comments. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. And please hit that bell so every time I make a new video, you see it. Stay tuned for more point reviews and painting videos and everything. Until next time, this is Jay saying happy painting. Your Deathwing.